Hi, I'm Kyle Persaud, and in this video, I'm going to tell you how to terminate a guardianship in Oklahoma. This is a video in a four-part series about how to file for guardianship forms in Oklahoma. This series has four parts. Part 1 is how to file for guardianship of a minor child in Oklahoma. Part 2 is how to file for emergency guardianship of a minor child in Oklahoma. Part 3 is how to file annual reports on a guardianship of a minor child in Oklahoma. Part 4 is how to terminate a guardianship in Oklahoma. In this video, I will discuss how to terminate the guardianship of a minor child in Oklahoma. I will discuss how you may regain your child if you're the biological parent and someone else is your child's guardian. I'll also discuss how you may end the guardianship if you are the guardian and you don't want to be guardian anymore. On my website, I've posted forms for terminating a guardianship, and I've posted a link to these forms in the description box below. First, a few disclaimers. Disclaimer number 1, these forms are not a substitute for hiring an attorney. You know the old saying, he who acts as his own lawyer has a fool for a client. And the reason I posted these forms is a lot of people ask, where can I find guardianship forms online? But I've also known of many people who've taken these online forms, filed themselves, and then made mistakes. And so if you can afford an attorney, it's best to have one. And in a guardianship case, if you're the biological parent, you may be able to ask the judge for a court-appointed attorney that the court will pay for. And disclaimer number 2, these forms are only for a guardianship of a minor child. They're not for the guardianship of an adult. Disclaimer number 3, these forms are for Oklahoma only. Every state has its own guardianship laws. If your case isn't in Oklahoma, don't use these forms. Disclaimer number 4, every guardianship case is different, and these firms will not work for all cases. Now, first, I'm going to discuss how to terminate guardianship in Oklahoma if you're the biological parent and someone else is the guardian. First, you need to fill out 2 forms, motion to terminate guardianship and the order setting hearing on the motion to terminate. And fill out the order before you go to court, but leave the space for the hearing date and the judge's signature blank. The judge will fill in these spaces. Take these 2 documents to the courthouse in the county where the case was originally filed. Go to the court clerk's office and ask the clerk to file the motion, but don't ask the clerk to file the order. Give the order setting hearing to the clerk and ask the clerk to give the order to the judge and ask the judge to sign it, and then ask the clerk to call you when the judge signs it. That's why most court clerks handle it, but ask your court clerk how they handle the process. Some do it differently. After the judge signs the order setting hearing, mail the order to all persons listed on the certificate of mailing. And then before your hearing, fill out the order terminating guardianship. You'll note that on this form, there are some spaces you can fill in on your computer and some that you can't. If there's a space you can't fill in on your computer, leave the space blank until you go to your court hearing. Then take this order to your hearing. And at your hearing, the judge will have evidence from both sides. Each side will be able to call witnesses, and each side will have the right to be represented by an attorney. And in general, I encourage anyone in a contested hearing to get a lawyer. Now, at your hearing, the judge will decide whether to terminate your guardianship. If the judge does terminate your guardianship, give the order to the judge and ask him to sign it. After the judge signs the order, take the order to the court clerk and ask the clerk to file it. Ask the clerk to give you 2 certified copies of the order. Keep these copies with you in the same place. And after the judge has signed the order terminating guardianship, you know how to have custody of your child again. Now I'll tell you how to relinquish guardianship if you are the guardian. There's 4 forms to fill out. 1 is the resignation form. 2 is the final report of the guardian of the person. 3 is the final report of the guardian of the property. 4 is the order for hearing on the final report. Fill out all these, take the forms with you to the courthouse. At the courthouse, file the resignation, the final report of the guardian of the person, and the final report of the guardian of property, but don't file the order for hearing on the final report. Give the order to the clerk and ask the clerk to give the order to the judge and ask the clerk to call you when the judge signs the order. Then mail copies of the resignation, the final report of the guardian of the person, and the final report of the guardian of the property to all persons listed on the certificate of mailing. When the clerk calls you and tells the judge signs the order of your hearing on final report, go to the courthouse and pick up a copy, make copies of the order, and mail a copy to all persons on the certificate of mailing. Also, in that order, the judge will likely have put a court date in. Note that date and remember to go to court on that date. Then, before your hearing, fill out the order approving final report. And when you go to your hearing, take the order approving final report with you, and then give the final order approving final report to the judge and ask the judge to sign the order. If the judge signs the order, you're now no longer the guardian of your children. Take the signed order to the court clerk's office, ask the clerk to file the order, and give you 2 certified copies of the order. Keep the certified copies with you in a safe place. Now, if you would like assistance on terminating the guardianship, whether you're the parent or the guardian, contact the Persaud Law Office to request a consultation. We've represented both parents and guardians in guardianship cases, and we'd be happy to represent you. And I placed a link to our contact form in the description box below. Thank you very much.